Now.
We just have to figure out what to do until we're done with this meeting. This meeting only lasts 30 minutes anyways.
That was going to be the question.
Okay, so all right, so you're okay?
Yeah,
So
it was.
tomorrow morning, do you need
Mara.
me?
Mara.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right.
Was that coming from her? Okay.
That's like when, or I don't know about anybody else, but that's like when my mother used to look at me in church. She didn't have to say my name. It was just, that's it. That
I'm
works.
here.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Whew, whew, whew. Yeah, we're good. Okay. There.
Is Max on?
Yeah, Max should be on. Click
Max is
over.
on.
And you should, there, Max. So Max should be-
Is Max on?
Phil, go away, Phil.
I'm here.
Okay, he's
All
here.
right. Okay. Eric,
Oh,
It's
I put it on full. Okay. Oh, so we can get started? Do I have to wait for public relations to say
Wait.
yes?
please wait.
Okay.
Derek will give us the hot sign.
If you're ready, I can start recording.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Recording in progress. All right, very good. All right, this is the Professional Services Committee meeting for ALCOSAN. Today is September the 14th, 2023. Miss Prater, could we have the roll taken, please?
Yes. Emily Kincaid,
Here.
Dr. Shanna Tharp Gilliam,
Present.
Miss Sylvia Wilson,
Here.
always present.
All right, thank you. And looking at the agenda, just following along, we don't have any information items today to be presented. So we will move directly into action items. Item A is a motion to recommend the approval of the service authorization to GAI under the agreement for engineering consultant services for an amount not to exceed $1,287,960 to perform the scope of services under capital projects S-494, which is regarding gate replacements. Ms. Williams.
Madam Chair, you may recall that the board awarded this in June of this year. We have returned with the negotiated fee, which is obviously in keeping with what our expectations have been. Our director of regional conveyance, who you will hear much from today, is going to give you a synopsis of the project. Mike?
All right. Thank you, Arletta, Madam Chair. We have a number of sluice gates and gates in the system that need replacement. We have a number of sluice gates in Sawmill Run, also have a number of flap gates that need to be replaced. Some need new flap gates, some structures, as well as we need corresponding stop logs, which are used for gate maintenance when we have to service a flap gate. So there's a lot of stop logs and gates and in our system that need to be either serviced or replaced. This procurement has over 70 valves in this procurement, including 4 valves at 2 of our pump stations, Squaw Run and Verona. After meeting with the GAI on 3 occasions, we are recommending a final price to the board of $1.287,660 for final design services. GAI is using collective efforts on the permitting, Drummond Carpenter and Monolo engineers for some of the surveying and geomechanics as part of this service authorization. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mhm.
If we have no questions from our other 2 committee members, could I please have a motion and a second to approve?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. That has been approved. We'll move on to item B. which is a motion to recommend the approval of a service authorization to JMT under the agreement, again, for engineering consultant services, amount to not to exceed $305,694 to perform the scope of services related to the construction management services for contract 1779, the annual interceptor cleaning. Ms. Williams.
Madam Chair, I just want to thank you for that correction. I'm sure JMT was hopeful that you would just proceed as originally stated. Heart stop. This contract, the board awarded to JMT in July of this year. And once again, Michael will speak to it. Take it away, Mike.
Thanks, Arletta. Madam Chair. This project is to conduct construction management inspection on approximately 19.6 miles of sewer, predominantly in the Turtle Creek area of our system. As the board is aware, we recently transferred 11 miles of sewer in Abers Creek and Thompson Run. This project includes CCTV and inspecting of those sewers. As Arletta stated, we awarded the CM to JMT in early in July. I'm sorry, as the firm best able to accomplish the scope of services. We met with JMT twice regarding their cost proposal and are recommending a final price to the board of $305,694. JMT is using eHoldings to support their effort on this project.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Again, note if there are any questions or comments. If not, could I have a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion is approved. Item C is a motion to recommend approval of a service authorization to Raftelius, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Rafaelis, well done.
And under the agreement for professional consultant services. And this amount is not to exceed $120,143. And their scope of services that they will perform, which will be for the professional appraisal services. Ms. Williams.
Madam Chair, this, like the GAI award, was granted at the June board meeting. Essentially, as we have talked about for some time, we have not valued the assets, the physical assets of the authority in quite some time. However, there is a better way that financial people explain all of that. That was a mere layperson's explanation. Our director of finance, Karen Fantoni, will make it more meaningful for you. Karen?
Thank you, Ms. Arletta. I just love numbers. So as Arletta very clearly indicated, it's been quite some time since we've had a full appraisal of our asset here at the plant. As we undergo all the changes, it's really important we have good baseline value for insurance purposes. As we go through the program once a year, those insurance values keep coming. So that we can fine-tune that process, that would be something we'd like to do.
It's not just me.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it either.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not muted.
No, you're not muted. It's coming out broken up.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I do.
You're muted, Arletta.
Arletta, you're muted. You're muted this time. You're muted.
Is that any better?
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to item D. You are going to Mara's office, and we will come back so that you can give a full financial explanation with a good mic. And this is what happens when you take the IT department away from your direction. You know, just that's the way it goes. Okay. All right. So, Madam Chair,
All
if
right,
agreeable, we will move on.
we'll move on to D,
DM
come back to
services,
C. Sure.
1763.
All righty. It's, as she said, the construction management services for contract 1763. The access shafts near A40 and M49 interceptor juncture, and contract 1764, 015 and 016 access shaft and regulator improvements to delve underground, and authorize executive director to negotiate a fee. All right, Ms. Williams.
Madam Chair, while the first three items are follow-up fee to contracts that have been previously awarded, these two, D and E, are both first-time awards. Again, we are returning to Mike, Director of Regional Conveyance. Take it away, Mike.
Oh, thank you, Arletta. Madam Chair. 4 firms were shortlisted in May of this year to provide construction management and resident inspection services for the new access shafts at A40, M49, and O15. These are broken out into 2 contracts based on the differing types of work that are proposed at each shaft. O15 having more surface work and more shallow work than the other 2 shafts at A40 and M49. These shafts are located in areas where significant sediment was found during our previous sonar effort of the existing deep tunnels. This is also a consent decree requirement that we have to clean in areas of high sediment deposition. We received 4 proposals in June. The evaluations included 5 ALCOSAN staff. The evaluation was based on 5 criteria: project approach, qualifications and experience, project management, loading, and MBE, WB, SDV participation. Based on the evaluation team scoring, the team of Delve Underground is being recommended to the Professional Services Committee to perform the construction management and resident inspection services. The team proposal included DLZ, Trophy Point, and KDG to fill key roles in the project. So our recommendation is Delve Underground for this procurement.
Okay, thank you. I hope people are paying attention that this isn't just a decision from one person, that there's a team of people who review these. We've had some people in the past question that, but I just wanted to point that out. All right, if there are no questions or comments from our committee members, could I have a motion and a second to approve, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's approved. All right, we are moving back to item C.
Let me see.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome, thank you. And you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome, we are 2 for 2, I love it. Okay, well, thank you everyone for your patience, I really appreciate it. We're moving back to item C, as the chair indicated. The appraisal services for Raftellus has not happened here at the plant for quite some time. It's been over 20 years since we've had a full appraisal of those assets done. As we do the construction and we're looking at adding all these assets to the plant, it's important that we have a good baseline for insurance purposes. We go through the insurance program every year. As part of that program, they look at what the replacement value would be for those assets that we have here. So in the event that there was some catastrophic failure and we would need to replace those assets, we need to have a good value for those and for insurance purposes and also for financial statement purposes. So Raftellus, when they came in, we awarded the contract to them back in June. We had many negotiations with them over the scope of work to be performed and also related to their price. The final price came in at about $120,000, which is within the budget that we had set for that, which is reasonable compared to what we had expected in the market. So we are pleased to put that to the committee for your consideration to award that contracting and move forward with this much needed work. Any questions? I'd be happy to entertain them.
Not hearing any. So could I have a motion to approve, please?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, this has been approved. All righty, we will move on to item E, a motion to recommend the awarding of the 2023 CIPP rehabilitation of the Upper Sawmill Run and Lower Ohio Interceptors, Capital Project S49 to GHD and authorize executive director to negotiate a fee. And as Mike said before, this is a first-time award for this program. So take it away, Ms. Williams.
Madam Chair, this recommendation comes from a short list that was approved by the Professional Services Committee in April. Again, as you stated, this is the first time award. We will come back with the board's full approval with a negotiated fee at a later date. Mike, again. I think you're muted, Mike.
There we go. Sorry.
All right.
This design includes approximately 3 miles of cured in place pipelining. Proposals were received from the 3 shortlisted firms. We had interviews with the firms on July 12th and July 13th of this year. We had 6 ALCOSAN staff that participated in the evaluation. Again, the evaluation was based on project approach, qualifications and experience, project management, loading, and MBE, WB, SDV participation. As a result of the evaluation, it was recommended that the firm of GHD be recommended to the Professional Service Committee for selection and approval.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments for this necessary work?
Yes. Just for clarification, I guess this is also relevant to item D. How are the different criteria weighed?
Usually, I think it's 20, 20, 20 typically is how we do it. Maybe loading's a little lower and you know, sometimes qualification experience is a little higher. So we kind of rate, I think 15% is the lowest and 25% is the highest typically. So they all receive varying degrees on the procurement.
Okay, great. Thank you.
These are also developed prior to the procurement being released. We have everything based upon what the PMs tell us.
Right. We let them know in the RFP what the percentages are.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Okay, can we move forward with a motion to approve, please?
Motion.
Miss Shannon did say she seconded. She just is on mute, but she seconded. I saw her
I
mouth.
couldn't find the icon.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's done. All right, we'll move on now to, let's see, that was professional services sewage sludge. Now I'm sitting here getting myself mixed up. Are we on? We just approved E, correct?
You are correct. We are
Okay.
moving on to
All right,
F.
to F, the motion to recommend the modification of service authorization 274 for GAI consultants to provide additional engineering support during the ongoing stack testing for an amount not to exceed $92,200. Ms. Williams.
Madam Chair, the operative word there is ongoing.
Going.
The board took action in 2015 to retain the services of GAI for these purposes. sewage sludge incinerator emissions, SSIE, another acronym. As much as I love my operations days, there is no way I could speak to any of this as eloquently and thoroughly as the Director of Operations and Maintenance, who is now a media darling, having slated on KDKA radio, because that part one was exceptional. Part two, wow, that's just the, let's do it again. It was so nice. Let's do it twice. So with that, now you can talk about burnt.
The filter has been lost. Madam Chair, so I'm pleased to announce, at least for this board action, that both incinerator units that we have are both fully compliant with all the emissions limits. Since 2016, we have gone through various forms of annual testing, at times retesting, at times some diagnostic testing. We're now to the point where the provisions in the federal requirements allow us to not test every pollutant annually, but we're now to the point for the cycles of both incinerators that we have to do full pollutant testing, which is for 9 pollutants plus visible emissions of both of our incinerators. So coming up this October for incinerator number 1, we plan to do stack testing for all pollutants, and then the spring of next year, we will similarly, under this same service authorization, stack test incinerator number 2. So this ask for $92,200 is to do full pollutant stack testing for incinerator number 1 this fall, and then incinerator number 2 next spring. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer. You're muted.
Muted. I just said we just have to get that stuff clean so we can function properly.
Yeah.
Got to do what we have to do to keep ALCOSAN's whole force working well. All right. No questions or comments. Going to have a motion to approve, please.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's now taken care of. I see there's no new business today. So we will adjourn this meeting. There's another good meeting, a lot of good stuff happening at ALCOSAN. And our next Professional Services Committee meeting is October the 19th, same time. See you.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
You're correct. We do not have new business. We have old business.
Old business? Okay.
Open house time.
Oh, how could I not mention open house?
That's
How could I
all right.
not mention
That's what
it?
you pay me for.
How could I not remember?
Saturday, 9 a.m. Once again, we have been blessed with a forecast that just can't be beat. So there is no reason not to come here, folks. You want to follow the flush and be right here with us Saturday, so you can find out what happens on the other end of that flush, and hopefully better understand the critical work that we do, the work that this board, this committee supports day in, day out, week in, month, year. Where else would you rather be? We're going to give you free lunch. Yes, there is a such thing as a free lunch, because the more you eat, the more you use us. Be here. Now, meeting adjourned.
I also have to say that it's got to be a good time when Arletta is open house security.
You're here.
Grievance over that.
I tell you what, I wouldn't mess with her. I wouldn't mess with her.
Thank you.
There'll be no line cutting in the lunch line.
I have a taser and I know how to use it.
Okay, well,
Thank you, committee.
we really are adjourned now, but please come, just as she said, I couldn't say it any better. Please come. Good night. Or
Thank
good
you.
afternoon.
See you Saturday.
See you guys.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely.